Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and today I'm joined by the awesome Kate Gregory. Kate, why are letting agents awesome at service, but really bad at selling? Talk to me.
It's a great question, Chris, and I think it comes down to the nature of what the letting agents do as a business. So they are service providers. So people are paying for a fully managed service, and the tendency is to just say yes, and to great service staff in the offices are saying yes, wanting to please. The problem with that is you stop valuing what it is that you're doing. So you start saying yes to everything, you stop valuing your time. And in letting agency, the one thing we've got as our commodity is time. So if you stop valuing that, you stop selling that, and therefore we're great at service and not necessarily at selling what we do.
Do you think we try and please our landlords too much?
Oh, absolutely. And I think there's a huge fear going through the industry, and has been for some time, that unless we over-deliver, people are going to leave, we're going to have no more landlords left, and we're going to be out of business. And it couldn't be further from the truth. In the last few years, we've been through some crazy times in life and in the industry. And I think there's never been more a need for people to have that quality of service, that confidence, that trust in their agent. But you get what you pay for, right? So people are now starting to be more savvy as customers and as consumers. And if you're not paying for what you're getting, you start to question it a little bit more. So I think this needs to turn. People are not going to leave because you're charging your worth. I mean, think of any other industry that you're in. Prices are going up. I mean, God, we're paying so much more for everything at the moment. Why would we be any different in the industry where now we are doing 15, 20 times more than we ever have been before?
What's the answer? What should letting agents be doing differently? They want to please their landlords, but at the same time, they're giving their time away, needlessly.
Absolutely. I think you've got to remember that this is a business. I was a sales agent for 21 years before I sort of started looking at letting. So I have been an estate agent.
And you obviously started as a child.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. But I think it's very, very different, the headspace that a sales agent's in to a letting agent. I talk to a lot of agents, it's what I do for my job, about marketing and about promotion and about price repositioning and structuring. And it's very interesting that they will plow money into estate agency marketing and creating glossy brochures and putting a lot of money into that side, and yet lettings doesn't seem to be that way. You've got to remember that it is a hugely important functioning part of the business. You've got to run it as a business, so each hour of your time needs to be allotted for, each service needs to be a product that you can sell. Keeping people happy, yes, but you've got to give a good service for that.
Okay, so we're not very good at the keeping our times, and we're probably too good at that in terms of service. How do we sell ourselves better to attract more landlords in so we can have greater staff and hopefully service them better?
I think that's a really good point, because marketing has now changed, as you know. I mean, here we are doing marketing right now, Chris, I'm sure you won't mind me saying. But what we don't need to do now is not product flog and not sort of flog the business to death. There's a great quote that we say at Agent Rainmaker, where you see people's websites or promotion going, we've been 30 years in the business, we have the best area, we are top of the figures in the area, we call it weeing all over your landlords, which I'm sure is not a very nice image.
Weeing, oh yes, because you using the word wing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm going to have that one.
So what we need to do is make it more about them and less about what it is that you're doing. Knowledge is power. So showing yourself as an authority in your industry, helping, serving. Old-fashioned sales used to say, don't give too much, because then they'll know what to do and do it themselves. Whereas now what we need to do is fully educate someone, because people are inherently lazy. They want to know that you are fully committed and fully knowledgeable about what they do.
So are you saying in your marketing that you should almost tell everything about what legislation that, let's be honest, the type of marketing that you and guys at Rainmaker suggest is the marketing of, the 150 pieces of legislation. Are you fully compliant? If not, come to an agent, which is, if you don't mind me saying, one aspect of content marketing, which, if you don't mind me saying, I think you're the best in the country at.
Thank you.
I advocate a different type of content marketing, but that's not to say that one is better than the other. I think you need to have a full gambit, don't you? It's a full
You
spread of
do.
marketing.
The great thing we've got in lettings is that we've got legislation, and legislation can really be our friend in terms of being able to use that for marketing. So that is going up every year. There's another piece of legislation put in place. There's, councils are now looking to fine and charge agents for doing things wrong. And we want the standard to be high, Chris. So using that fear marketing in a good way is a great way of talking to your landlords.
Okay, so how do we put all that into action?
So you've got to go out there and speak to your clients. One of the things that we've been doing for some time now, and luckily within the last few years, we've been able to put it digitally, is running landlord webinars. So we host these as landlord legislation evenings. We'll use software, we'll run ads, we'll spend about sort of £200-300 on ads in a run up to a webinar. And
so what do you do? Just target, can you target landlords on Facebook?
Yes, you can. Yes, you absolutely can. You've got to be aware of your sort of demographic and who you're speaking to and who your avatar is. But yes, you absolutely can.
And then what you say, this is an evening for landlords in, say, Droitwich or Wolverhampton or something.
Yeah, absolutely. A legislation evening, serving your community, teaching them about legislation, keeping them up to date on the changes that might have happened.
We're not doing a half an hour pitch for us.
Oh no! I mean, have you met our Dawn Bennett?
I have met her.
I don't think Dawn could do anything in half an hour, Chris, at all. So no, we're talking a good sort of hour and a half, 2 hours of content here.
And that content is basically these are the 150 bits of legislation.
Yeah.
But surely people are going to be switched off by that.
It's amazing because they're absolutely not. And if you think about as a landlord, this is a really big investment that they've got. This is, fines, prosecutions, banning orders on the line here. People are very interested in keeping themselves informed. Google has been a blessing and a curse for landlords because obviously they think now, we can do it all ourselves. And when we talk about agents converting let only to fully managed, this is one of the tools that we use.
Is that the angle you're going for, that you're trying to convert? I mean, let's be honest, the number of let-onlys has gone from a quarter to, say, nearly a half.
Absolutely.
According to a number of sources. So what are you trying to do? Convert the let-onlys into managed? Is that your, hate to say, angle?
If you think about it, Chris, who would be interested in attending a webinar such as this? Is it likely to be a fully managed client that's with an agent already because they're being looked after? So you've got to think about the angle, as you say, is the avatar that exactly who you're talking to. So you're looking to with the nicest will in the world to scare the crap out of them because it is an intense, and we are a professional organisation. We respect what agents do hugely, and so there's no better way than going out there and telling them all the things that we are doing to keep them safe. Because I have to say, I think that's one of the things that we have not done a good job in this industry with, is actually talking about what we do. So that perception for a let-only landlord that we're just there with a bit of paper, we walk someone around a flat and off you go.
Whack it on Rightmove,
Exactly. So think about 2 hours of full-on content, serving and telling them all the different things that we're doing for the bargain price of X% a month.
Okay, so hold on a second. So I've spent £200 or £300 on a Facebook advert, okay, with a particular avatar. Again, there's people out there that can do it for you, but I'm sure most agents could probably learn how to do it. Okay, how many landlords are you getting at those?
So the last one we ran
10,
a few
20,
weeks
30?
ago in Wolverhampton, 20 or 30? Absolutely not.
How many?
We had about 350 register for that event.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
And we can't understand why people aren't doing this more, honestly. The opportunities that opens up is brilliant. If you go out there and you put yourself as an authority of what you're talking about, you're serving, people come to you and they want you to work with them. So portfolio landlords with multi-properties, we've had a development off plan, which we've taken on, and plus sales opportunities that come from it too.
And you've also got those people that don't convert. If you put them into a nurture system, you should be able to get them down the line.
So you're absolutely spot on there. Now, don't get me wrong, Chris, 350 people did not turn up to that webinar. We do get a great show-up rate, but I've got 350 people on a prospecting database and I can now talk to, I can nurture, I can speak to, I can inform through all sorts of different media.
And that webinar is not a sales, it's pure giving. Are you sure by giving it all away, it comes back to you?
Honestly, yeah. Sales has changed. I'm very passionate about sales processes. The old way of selling was that, you tickle it, you don't give too much, and then people ask for more. That doesn't work anymore.
Don't tell anyone, the camera's on, but I do actually agree with you on that one.
Good.
But
in good company.
No one will see this bit. But yeah, let's come back to the video. Are you really, really sure? By giving it all away, it comes back to you.
Absolutely. We've had countless, our own branches, as well as case studies.
One webinar a month gets you 20 to 30 managed properties.
We do one every 8 weeks, so I don't want to
that's still
over-egg
not-
the pudding, but yeah.
But that's 100 properties.
Yeah, if you've done it right and you make sure you're giving good content. I mean, there is a process, there's a structure to doing it. A lot of people get very excited, go out there and just do the webinar, but forget to actually offer anything or nurture that. As you quite rightly say, you've got to be continuing relationships with these people.
So you've got to funnel them in and then funnel
We love a
them
funnel,
out.
Chris. We love a funnel.
Well, your funnels are very, very, very famous in the industry for grabbing landlords. Is there anything else you want to add to this?
No, that's great.
You've been absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.